Ever wondered how to create your own Android app? Welcome to the gateway of your curiosity, Android Studio. This powerful tool is the official integrated development environment, or IDE, for Android app development. It's like the secret ingredient to your Android app recipe. What makes Android Studio so special, you ask? Well, it's designed specifically for Android development and is constantly updated with the latest Android SDKs, making it the go-to platform for professionals and beginners alike. It provides a rich set of tools that not only ease development, but also enhance efficiency and productivity. From code editing, debugging, and testing, to an instant build deploy system, Android Studio has it all. Its inbuilt features such as Visual Layout Editor, APK Analyzer, Intelligent Code Editor, and a flexible build system are all crafted to offer a smooth and seamless Android development experience. So, are you prepared to take your first step towards creating your dream app? Get ready to dive into the exciting world of Android development with Android Studio. Before we start crafting our app, we need to set up Android Studio on our machine. Android Studio is the official integrated development environment, or IDE, for Google's Android operating system, and it's a critical tool for any aspiring app developer. To get started, we need to download and install Android Studio. But before we do that, let's make sure our machine meets the system requirements. For Windows users, you'll need a Microsoft Windows July 8th 10, 32 or 64-bit. And for Mac users, you'll need a Mac running Mac OS X August 5th 10 or higher, up to 10.14 Mojave. Both systems should have at least 4 GB RAM, though 8 GB is recommended, along with 2 GB of available disk space, though 4 GB is recommended. Now, let's head over to the official Android Studio website, which is developer.android.com/studio.here. You'll find the latest version of Android Studio available for download. Click on the Download Android Studio button, and you'll be prompted to agree to the terms and conditions. After ticking the box, click on Download Android Studio for Windows, or Download Android Studio for Mac, depending on your operating system. Once the download is complete, locate the .exe file for Windows or DMG file for Mac in your Downloads folder, and double-click to start the installation process. A setup wizard will guide you through the installation process. You'll be asked to choose an installation location, and it's recommended to leave it at the default setting unless you have a specific reason to change it. The wizard will then download and install the necessary SDK tools, which can take a few minutes. Once this is complete, you'll be asked whether you want to import any settings from a previous installation of Android Studio. If this is your first time installing, you can simply choose Do Not Import Settings. Finally, click on Finish to complete the installation process. Once Android Studio is installed, you can launch it from your Applications menu. Make sure to follow the installation instructions carefully for a seamless development experience. Now that we have Android Studio installed, it's time to navigate its interface. In the grand scheme of Android development, understanding the interface is like getting to know your new best friend. It can seem a bit intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll find it's designed to make your life easier. Let's start with the project window. This is essentially your project's command center, where you'll manage all the files and resources that make up your application. It's typically located on the left side of the screen. You'll notice that it's organized in a hierarchical structure, making it easy to navigate through your project's files. Now, if you look to the center of your screen, you'll find the editor window. This is where the magic happens. It's the stage where you'll write and edit your code. It comes with a built-in code editor, which not only supports Java and Kotlin, but also XML for designing your app's layout. Its intelligent design highlights syntax and offers real-time suggestions, making coding a breeze. Lastly, we have the tool window. This is like your personal assistant, offering a range of tools to help you in your development process. It's dotted around the edges of the interface, and each window serves a unique purpose. For instance, the Logcat window helps you monitor your app's performance in real time, while the version control window helps you manage your project versions. At the bottom, you'll find the navigation bar. which gives you a quick overview of your project structure and allows you to swiftly jump between different parts of your project. And at the top, there's the toolbar, providing shortcuts to the most commonly used actions. Once you understand these basics, you can customize the interface to suit your personal preferences, thanks to Android Studio's flexible layout. Remember, the interface is designed to help you, not hinder you. So, don't be afraid to explore and click around. The more you familiarize yourself with it, the more efficient your development process will become. Familiarizing yourself with the interface will greatly enhance your development process. Ready to create your first Android app? Let's get started! In the welcoming world of Android Studio, creating a new project is as simple as a few clicks. To begin, click on File on the top menu, and then select New followed by New Project. This will open up the Create New Project wizard, your guide to setting up a project. First stop on this journey is selecting the project template. Android Studio offers a plethora of templates for different types of apps, from basic empty activity templates to more complex navigation drawer activity templates. Choose the one that best fits your app idea. Remember, the template just provides a basic structure. You're the architect who will shape the structure into a vibrant app. Now, on to the next step, configuring the project. Here, you'll enter the name of your application, the package name, and the save location. Also, you'll choose the language, Java or Kotlin, and the minimum API level. The API level is crucial as it determines the lowest version of Android your app can run on. So, choose wisely. Once you've filled in the details, click on Finish and voila! You've created your first Android Studio project. With the project open, you'll see the main activity and activity_main XML/ES files. These are your playgrounds where you'll write code and design the user interface. Congratulations on setting up your first Android Studio project. Now comes the exciting part, writing and running our code. After creating our project in Android Studio, we are greeted with an editor window. This is our canvas, where we will write the code that breathes life into our app. Coding in Android Studio is a breeze, thanks to its powerful features. The editor not only highlights syntax and offers autocomplete suggestions, but also detects errors in real time. It's like having a personal assistant that guides you along the way. To start writing code, simply select a file from the Project Explorer and it will open in the editor window. The coding process in Android Studio is very similar to other programming environments. You write your code line by line, making sure to follow the syntax of the language you're using. For Android app development, that language is usually Java or Kotlin. Once you've written your code, it's time to run it and see what happens. You can do this by clicking on the green Run button located on the toolbar at the top. But where does the output go? Well, that's where the emulator comes in. The emulator is a virtual device that runs on your computer, allowing you to see your app in action without needing an actual Android device. When you run your code, Android Studio compiles it into an APK file, which is a package that contains all the necessary files for your app. This APK file is then installed on the emulator, and your app springs to life. You can interact with your app just like you would on a real device, testing its functionality and design. If you do have an Android device handy, you can also run your app directly on it. Simply connect your device to your computer via USB, enable USB debugging on your device, and choose it from the list of available devices when you run your code. Seeing your code come to life is one of the most rewarding aspects of app development. It's like watching a thought transform into reality right before your eyes. This is the magic of Android Studio, and it's waiting for you to explore it. Scene script. Every developer encounters bugs, but don't worry, Android Studio has got you covered. Now, let's dive into the debugging features of Android Studio. Debugging is like being a detective in a crime movie where you are both the detective and the murderer. You're the one who wrote the code, so you're the one who made the mistakes. But now it's time to find them and rectify them. First up, we have breakpoints. Breakpoints are like stop signs. When running your app in the debug mode, the execution stops right where you've set a breakpoint. This allows you to examine the state of your app at that point in time. You can inspect your variables, step through your code, and see exactly what's happening. Next, we have the debug window. This is your command center for debugging. Here, you can view variable values, control the execution of your app, step into methods, step over lines, and even step out of methods. Finally, we've got Logcat. This is your window into the internal workings of your app and Android itself. Logcat displays messages and logs from your app and the system. It's like having a conversation with your app. You can filter these logs, search for specific messages, and even save them for later analysis. With these debugging tools at your disposal, no bug stands a chance.